Good morning, everybody. Today's Treasure Coast. In this episode, we are going to ride in a seaplane. I am so excited. It's a beautiful day for it. Let's get started. Join me. Join us as we go out and about to discover the Treasure Coast.
I'm Denny, and I'm usually behind the camera.
Hi everybody, this is Eleanor Willis. I'm here with today's Treasure Coast, and today I want to introduce you to two of my, Denny and our lifelong adult friends. Now, this is Mike, all of our adult life. I don't know, you may or may not know that scuba diving is a major part of our life, Denny and I, and it all started with this guy. He taught us how to dive, and if we had had any other instructor, we could have had a very different life. Mike, you know we love you. Bob, and we've traveled together, but Bob, we know a few years later, he has introduced us to most of our variety of aircraft, and I gotta tell you that I feel very fortunate because Denny and I are adventure seekers. Certainly we have not experienced as much as either of these guys, but we're fortunate to have said a lot more than many, and a lot of it was in different aircraft. The number of types of aircraft I've been in are incredible. I mean, from little private planes to bigger ones to jets, private jets to helicopters. Most of that has been a result of this guy. Now, the moral of this story is when you count your blessings, don't forget to thank the friends in your life that have really contributed to it and been part of it all. And that's these guys. Okay, so enough of that. That's getting a little mushy. We love you both.
We love you too.
It's time for that seaplane ride.
All right, let's go do a seaplane ride.
Mike's going to get us started here. This is their seaplane. And although we are here today with friends, I mean, they're not going to take you on a seaplane tour, but we are at Lake Dora, and they do offer seaplane rides here. We are in Travares in the Orlando area. Now, I know we're not in the Treasure Coast area. They do have seaplane rides there. There's a company called the Treasure Coast Seaplanes. I have no personal information. Personally, I have no information or experience with them. And right now their website says they're on a business hiatus due to COVID. So you can look into that at another date, or you can always come up here. Okay guys, Mike's gonna get me started here.
Okay, so one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure you're safe out there. Whenever we operate on the water, we operate with life vests on. Now, the trick in life is not to get this wet.
I feel like I'm back to my early scuba diving.
That's right. We don't mind getting the airplane a little wet, but we don't want to get wet ourselves. But we have this vest on. It does have a little pull tab here like your early scuba vests do. These were originally water activated, but we don't want it water activated in the situation that we use it. We want to activate it when you're out of the airplane, if that were the case. Then we got to get you into the airplane. So we're going to move you back here. We want you to put your right foot on the wheel. Turn around the other way. Face the camera. Right foot on the wheel. Okay. And you can put it right on the tire. It'll boost you a little bit higher.
Right on the tire.
Yeah, and step up. Now,
I don't know.
let me do this. Yeah, don't press here. Put one hand back here. Yeah, there you go. And then I can
this is a little more. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my.
And then you can just slide down into your seat. I'm going to reach down and grab your buckle so you're not sitting on it.
Whoa.
And then we're going to buckle you in with a shoulder harness just like your car.
Okay. Did I tell you this is my first seaplane ride?
Well, Bob's never done it either, but,
but
we watched it on YouTube a bunch.
Oh, thank goodness for YouTube!
Yeah, so permission to come aboard, Captain.
Permission granted.
All right, so in this little airplane, we don't actually say we're getting in it. It's so small that we're putting it on. It's a little bit different. So
Okay.
it's so small, but it's a fun one to fly. This is just so much fun. So I'm gonna come aboard. Here we go.
Come aboard.
So I'll show you how it's done. One foot in, the other foot in, and down, and boom. See how easy that was?
That was easy.
After you do it a few more times, you'll be able to do the
Okay,
same thing.
so you said I could take my pocketbook with me.
It's right behind you.
Could I have that for just a moment?
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty.
Now, the only reason I want this, you can have that.
Okay.
Where's my phone? Here's my phone.
Okay. So for this seaplane, we have a little checklist called GIFFTS: gear, instrument, fuel, flap, trim, and safety, and I'll go through that. Basically, we're going to start it up here, make sure it's okay. We're going to taxi over to the water. It takes a little bit of time to warm this engine up because it's air-cooled and water-cooled. Once it's warmed up, we're actually going to kind of take off towards this direction because the winds are from that direction. So we'll go out there, drive over that way, warm it a little bit, and then we'll take off this way. And then we'll fly down around the lake and down around Mount Dora and all around, and then come back in for a landing after we do a little takeoffs and landings, okay?
Can I put my feet here?
So we're gonna go ahead, yep, you can put your feet there. So first we're gonna do is get your headset on. Mike's gonna help you with that.
Can I take my hat off?
Yeah.
And I'll get my headset ready to go.
Wake up.
Okay, I can no longer hear anything. Okay.
Yep, you will eventually.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Nothing's turned on.
now we're ready to start the airplane. So I'm getting ready to go. Get the master on.
Are we going to close our windows?
We'll close the windows once we get moving.
Good, because
So
I'm cold.
one of the things we always do is we yell, clear prop. Let me hear you yell, clear prop.
Clear prop.
All
I
right.
remember that.
So
part
we
from
look
the
and we make sure no one's walking to us even at the last moment. A brake is on and we're going to go ahead and start the airplane. So here we go. Ready? that? Okay,
Yes.
I'll show you how it's done. Now, I have done this a time or two. This is actually like Mike said, this is my first time flying a seaplane. But, you know, I can get in and out pretty good. So
All
here.
right.
So to get out, here's what we do. I personally like to put my hand up here, and my other hand here, my feet down here, and then I just kind of push up like this.
Yeah.
Then I get my arm up here. You can push from down there if you want. Then I get my foot up here. I put my hand out here on this strut, and then I just push up. I get my butt out on the strut, and my foot on the tire, and I just step out.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I gotta get out of here first. Okay.
Okay, so we just don't want to put weight towards the front because that's the windshield. That's
This
parallel.
hand here.
Yeah, as far back as you can. That hand there. Just slide your butt up.
Yeah, this isn't as easy as you made it
Oh.
look.
No, it's not. I get a foot on there. Yeah, there you go. All the way
Okay,
up.
this is
All the
easier.
way up. Now,
All right.
now your foot out onto the.
His hands are longer. I couldn't reach that far.
I do have a
There you go.
go.
That was so cool. All right, so in my opinion, it was like a cross between the 150 that I had lessons in, which is the smallest plane I've been in, and the helicopter because of the visual and the turns. That was more like a helicopter because they were,
Steep.
yeah, very steep. And you flew lower in them. But that was so cool. Now I say I took my lessons in a 150. A lot of people take their lessons in a 172, but I couldn't see the cow of the plane. So they took me out and put me in a smaller plane. But, however, this ranks up there with one of those bucket list experiences for me. And it was great. It was great. So like I said, if you want to do something like this, we are in Travares, and it's Jones Brothers Seaplanes Adventures. Apparently Travares is the seaplane capital. I mean, this is where you want to go because there's so much water around here. It was a really good experience. I recommend it. And I want to thank my friend Bob for doing this with me, and Mike for being here with me because this is their plane, and well, a little bit more about this stuff.
Hey, no, one thing we want to mention. Eleanor got to fly the plane quite
Oh,
a
I
bit.
did. I flew it a
So,
little bit.
Very simple. She flew it all around the sky and had a good time with it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Come back and do it with us again.
I will.
But we'll join you over on the seacoast at a
Okay.
later date. How's that sound?
All right.
All right. Cool.
Works.
Thanks.
You are welcome. Thank you. So, Denny, this is your first time in a seaplane too, isn't it?
Yep, first time flying in it.
Okay, you're in for an adventure. And I also forgot to tell you guys that Bob, he was one of our hosts in our TV show called Dive Travel TV. Reminded me, we're sitting here doing a lot of reminiscing about those shots. So, okay guys, time for your turn. Enjoy. Okay, so once you're in the water and you're ready to accelerate, the landing gear has to come up. And here we go. You are literally a pod sitting on the water. So takeoff and landings, they could be a bit bumpy, but actually it's no different than a boat cutting through the water in higher speeds. And then you lift off, and it's calm. able to experience a bird's eye perspective is always amazing. Things look so very different from above. I try never to take this for granted. Would you look at these two? It may be Denny's first time in a seaplane, but he's spent a lot of time in the air with Bob, and he's always ready for his next flight. What an experience. Air, land, and sea. Another item on our list has just been checked off. And with that, they're back on the ground. Well, I mean water. Once you throttle down, the gear will come down, and then they'll be back on land. Well, that's it for today's episode. It's time for lunch, and then we're heading back. We sure hope that you'll like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time when today's Treasure Coast goes out to find something new to explore. And when we do, I hope you'll be there to join us.
How was that?
That was fun. We went over the grass strip.
Oh, good.